Making friends while solo traveling isn't easy. You can't just expect people to start talking to you. You have to put yourself out there and initiate conversations with strangers. I'm only just learning this myself, but today I really struck gold. Today I woke up at a hostel in the Italian port city of Genoa. I didn't film this, but over breakfast I started talking to an American and an Australian. I was sitting here and they sat across the table from me. At first we just started the average hostel talk. What's your name, where are you from, where have you been traveling, and where are you going? I didn't really have a plan for the day, and neither did they. Then we saw this information board in the dining room of the famous 5 Italian fishing villages, Cinque Terre, which the Finnish hostel staff from yesterday.
I'm Soara from Finland.
From Finland? I'm from Denmark. She's literally from Finland and her name is Soara. Well, she translated Cinque Terre into the 5 lanes, which are 5 fishing villages that all lie within a few kilometers of coastline. And before you knew it, we got on a 60-minute train ride and arrived at the first of the 5 fishing villages. But first, you gotta know what happened yesterday. See, yesterday I went on a pay what you want guided tour of Genoa, which was organized by the hostel. I'm really bad at filming in front of strangers, so I didn't film a ton that day, and I didn't film myself talking in front of the camera at all. So the day is compressed into only a few minutes, and I'm gonna voice over and illustrate a bit of what happened. But I promise it's gonna be good. I woke up seeing the view of the city in daylight for the first time. I then tried to make my coffee in one of these traditional Italian coffee pots, which I haven't used in years. One of the hostel staff came and saved me, but instantly scratched my first attempt and cut out a new one. Oh, and don't worry, this definitely wasn't embarrassing for me at all. First up of our guided tour was a view of this lighthouse called the Lantern, which according to our tour guide is the symbol of the city. This, by the way, is our guide. His name is Byro and he was very dedicated and a great person overall. We then went to get a view of the whole city. When we got back down into the city again, we went to get some traditional Italian focaccia. Genoa is famous for being the birthplace of focaccia bread. Then we went to see some churches, which there was a lot of on the tour. Spyro explained that in this region of Italy, they traditionally don't like to be flashy and show off, other than when it comes to churches, where they go all in. This bomb landed in the cathedral during a World War II bombing by the British, but it never detonated, which they took as a sign from God. In reality, it's estimated that 5 to 20% of bombs didn't go off during World War II. This used to be a Roman amphitheater, but was converted into an event space where musicians can perform.
They also do techno parties here, from gladiators to techno parties.
This is one of the main gates into the old city, and just next to it is the house that Christopher Columbus used to live in more than 500 years ago. We then tried some of the traditional food that the slaves used to eat. The legend goes that a ship was once transporting flour when it got caught in a big storm and seawater got into the flour. From this bread was created, consisting of just flour, water and salt, which they then fed to the slaves. It tasted about as well as you'd probably imagine. We then ate another kind of focaccia bread. On this tour we saw a bit of everything. Genoa, being an old port city, has a lot of different people and some shady stuff happening. We went through some areas where some unconventional work was happening in the open streets, which I won't go into detail with, but Spyro told us that whereas in many other places, cities are separated into different areas with different kinds of people. In Genoa, everything is just a big mix of everything happening at once, because the poor and rich traditionally used to live in the same buildings, but just on different floors. This was what I was feeling after I got back from the tour.
Wow. That was such a strange experience. I went on a guided tour that the hostel had organized. A very great tour, but we saw a bit of everything.
I went back to the hostel and went out for some dinner in the evening. I went to a small family-owned restaurant. The restaurant was completely empty and the plates were small, so I ended up getting 3 courses. But the food was so delicious. The guy behind the bar was very friendly. I think they kinda tried to hide it, but I don't think the dog wanted to collaborate.
Yeah, that was delicious. What a lovely place. I was the only one there, but it was such a little lovely place. There was a dog behind the counter and their child was just sitting there at a table playing. Alright, I got back here to the hostel and I had to help someone get in, but I just came back down here again to film because I'm not that used to filming around other people, but I just thought I'd spoil myself for a nice meal. So I ended up getting 3 courses, but that was 40 euros, which even in Denmark is quite a lot. But yeah, it was a very nice place, so yeah, I'm not too mad about it. But I'll head back into the hostel now because it's really quite rainy out here. Oh, did I remember my keys? Oh, yeah, I did.
Then I went to bed, and the next morning I met the boys over breakfast and we got on a train. And we're now back to where the video started, in the first and most northern fishing village of Cinque Terre. The waves of this coastline were unlike anything I'd ever seen in person before. We started off getting some food. The only food we could find was a touristy fish and chip shop just outside the station, and we were off. We were instantly hit by an obstacle, which was a result of us going hiking on the most rainy day of my trip.
I feel like, why don't just climb up here?
I wouldn't know if I do that.
Well, it is a huge drop down there, but
But also, I think this was just not the right time of year to visit, as a lot of the path was not going to be in the best shape. And actually, pretty quickly, we were met by a sign that said "Path closed by law." Turns out the path between the first two villages was closed from October till spring, when they could repair the damages the winter and rain had caused throughout the off-season. We'd already dedicated a lot of time getting here, and we'd only just begun the hike, so we agreed that we would try to continue, but turn back if the path seemed too dangerous. With that, we continued. The upside was that we had the trail almost entirely to ourselves. From what I can gather, this narrow trail is fully packed with people in the summer. The trail was wet and muddy, our clothes were already soaked, but still, we were happy and smiling from the excitement of the adventure. We got to another sign that had been knocked over by the wind.
well, can't read that.
You do,
I took a picture of it and translated it with Google Translate.
It means construction site begins. Oh, damn!
Mitchell's hat flew off, and no wonder the sign had been knocked over by the wind. The wind was really quite strong. We talked about all sorts of things, including the fact that this would perhaps become one of those memories we would look back on in 50 years or so, when we were old and sitting in a rocking chair. This reminded me that in 50 years, if we make it without falling off a cliff, I would now be able to be grateful for these experiences and the choices we made, instead of having turned around at the first sign and always having wondered what would have happened if we didn't and regretting the choice. On the path, we would also now and then meet a few locals hiking between the villages, so we felt we'd made the right decision to continue. The scenery was incredible, and the next village was now in view as we stumbled upon our first real obstacle. A small landslide was blocking the path.
No? Is it doable?
We were also definitely wearing the wrong kind of pants and shoes, as we were all just wearing jeans and sneakers, but I wasn't exactly planning on going hiking when I was packing for this trip.
I got dirt in my shoes. It's a little sink.
After washing our hands in nature's sink, we carried on with our adventure.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the... Wow, yeah. That's such a cool town.
I love the mountains with like the cut things for the.
Yeah, for the gardens, yeah, for the vineyards.
Looks like South America.
Yeah.
Like not the town.
This place just looked unreal, like something straight out of a movie.
It doesn't look real.
Yeah, so it's from the screensaver on your computer.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, this actually ended up becoming my wallpaper for my MacBook.
Wow.
We passed by this sign and we were now exiting the part of the trail that was closed by law. This time was different from the one we passed earlier that I didn't record, which stated the path was closed by law. We'd made it around the mountain and we're now entering Vanassa. Fun fact, the 5 villages are connected by a train, which is the way most people normally travel between them. We just thought it would be more exciting to hike between them instead. Vanassa is village number 2 and definitely the most scenic one of the 5. We went down to the pier where the sea was going to war with the small village. You can't actually hear the rest of what he was saying, but he was saying that if he were to die here, he wouldn't even be that mad about it. And I think we all agreed that this place, this day, this so spontaneous hike of strangers who'd just met this very morning just felt life-fulfilling. Even though it was windy and raining cats and dogs, we were all just grateful for this experience and for being able to travel to such a scenic place. We got a bite to eat and then tried to get up to this 1000-year-old tower, but it wasn't open this time of year, so after looking back at Monterosso, where we'd just come from, completely drenched, we decided to carry on towards the next village before dark.
Wow. Drinking water? Don't think it gets more clean than this.
After we'd all had a sip of water, the 3rd village had already come into view, and not only that, we could even see the 4th village behind it in the distance. But even though it seemed so close, we still had to hike through this mountainous forest. Taking in the views, we met one of the only people we'd encountered on the trail.
Ciao.
I have no idea how the wind could make this sound, but we kept hearing this eerie sound from the wind. Before heading into the 3rd and final village of the day, we had to get a photo together. This bridge was too flooded, so we had to walk on the railing.
It's kind of funny if you like died right there.
Yeah. That's what you're thinking about? Having to carry my body?
There's honestly like no record of us being together. Like,
No, true. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Finnish lady had to, yeah.
I mean, when you're complete strangers hiking on a secluded mountain path on the coast of Italy, you gotta be making those kind of jokes. And with that, we made it to Caniglia, the 3rd village of the 5.
Yeah, I love how quick you're just like in civilization. Like you're just walking down a mountain.
I booked a room in one of the old houses where we all dried off with some towels before the boys got on a train back to Genoa.
Wow, man, I am so tired. I made it here, and it's actually like a room for 2 I paid for some reason. It was the cheapest in the whole area, and yeah, it looks actually quite good. So, but the other 2 just left. They were so nice. Just met them at the hostel this morning, and we just decided to go hiking together. None of us knew like what we were going into at all, and the weather was so bad. But it was quite an adventure, and honestly, yeah, that was just the best. But also, like, I am so tired right now, and yeah, I just want to go to bed almost. Yeah, it's only like a little past 6, but yeah, I'm just gonna lay in bed and watch something, I guess. And it doesn't seem like there's anything to eat in this town because it's so small and it's the off season. So yeah, I don't know, man. But I think I'm going to Pisa tomorrow, and they might join, but yeah, we'll see. But this hotel room is so cool. I'm just quickly gonna show you. Yeah, so this is like the common room, and we got room number 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, it's already quite messy in here because I had to change all my clothes, and they got some of the towels and stuff like that. But yeah, I got like 5 towels, and then a little bathroom, a shower, and the view is actually like quite amazing. But it's still raining quite a lot. But yeah, I guess you can probably not see that much, but yeah, you could before, just when we arrived like 20 minutes ago. But yeah, that is the little train station. I'm just gonna relax a bit for now.
Also a thought.
All my clothes are just like completely soaked. Oh god, this is my travel pass. Oh god. Yeah, it's not in the best shape. Oh yeah, and my passport too. Don't know if you can tell, but yeah, that's not great. That's not great at all. But I'm most worried about my laptop and electronics. But yeah, hopefully it'll all be okay.
A few months later, this happened to that exact power bank while I was stuck up in the mountains in the Slovenian Alps.
And my power bank began to smell really badly. So that means that I don't really have any power left now, and also I'm a little worried that this is gonna explode. So I put it in a bag, but I don't know. Yeah, so I'm like trying to dry my bag now.
I tried to dry off my laptop with this hairdryer I found in the bathroom. Not a single thing in my bag was dry, so at about half an hour past midnight, I'd unpacked everything and put it up to dry and was now finally in bed.
It's so weird just being in a hotel room now. I kind of like enjoy staying at hostels way more, but it's been quite a day, so yeah, I'm head to bed, so thank you for watching. Yeah, bye.
This was episode 6 of my 2-week Interrail trip traveling from Barcelona, Spain to Naples, Italy with no plan at all. In the next episode I'll be hiking through the last few fishing villages of Trincotarde. But even though the weather had improved significantly, the hike still really had its challenges.
Wow, I just heard a landslide. You could just hear the rocks over there just collapsing.
If the episode is already up by the time you're watching this, then it'll be on the screen, but otherwise it'll be up next Thursday. You can go watch another in the meantime. You can also follow me on Instagram at ViggoTravels. Thank you for all the comments you are leaving on the videos and for the new subscribers. See you soon!